Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new podcast, The Hiding Spot. I am your host, The Killer 22, and Danksymphony is also the host.
What?
This is a new project for us. We're gonna be talking about some topics that I feel like we have big opinions on. We like to talk a lot, so it's very good to express ourselves here. Um, so I hope you guys enjoy this little new project. We don't have a schedule yet, but we are planning to upload very often,
As soon as we can.
as soon as we can. And our schedules are open and everything. So I hope you guys do enjoy this little project and our opinions. Just a reminder. Anything we say, it's all in our opinions. We do not mean offense to anybody or wish anybody bad. So, would you like to say anything, Cam?
Uh, no, we pretty much covered everything.
All right. Well, today in the hiding spot, our main topic is going to be the boxing extravaganza that's happening in the YouTube world. But as you guys know, we have the YouTubers are now going into the boxing world, and to be honest, if you really think about it, YouTube has gone from far things to being like the least platform, because Facebook back then was like the biggest platform, and YouTube when it first came out, it wasn't as a big thing. People were still making Minecraft gameplays and stuff on their phone, so it wasn't as good a quality. So it's very nice to see how YouTube has gone up in the world. How YouTubers have done different stuff, how been talented. You see, YouTubers have gone into movies even.
Even though they are questionable in their quality, but yes, they have been able to, get into YouTube or movies and all that stuff. But with all the success and good stuff that comes with YouTube, and just like everything, there's always the bad part.
Yeah, there's always a bad
And
part. Always.
with YouTube, it seems like there's just never really a spot where there isn't a bad spot. Like it's just constantly just something bad. They mess up like once a month every time, like almost on schedule, pretty much.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I mean, with the new YouTube guidelines and everything, YouTubers have changed a lot. Like many of the YouTubers have to change their stuff. I feel like YouTube has gotten more stricter on their rules. I feel like they shouldn't, because they went from everybody doing their own thing, and people make offensive content, and now they can't just do that, and people of that fan base, like they don't realize that, and so they hate on the YouTuber. So I feel like, in my opinion, YouTube has changed a lot in good ways and bad ways. The bad way is how YouTube has gotten more stricter with the rules. I get it, you can't, you don't want, kids are on here, you don't always want to say offensive stuff.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Go ahead.
well, the whole monetization and YouTube's kids thing, it's really bad right now. Being a YouTuber has never been more harder, and especially for newer channels starting out, it has never been more harder and uh I guess challenging to actually like have yourself being shown. Yeah, YouTube has done things because I have been seeing like new channels with like 200 subscribers in my recommended,
Yeah.
which I mean that's awesome, which it's really great, but just like everything, when you first start out a channel, it's not going to be great. You have to over
Yep.
time find yourself, find what you're wanting to do, find what your content, what you want your fan base to be. Uh, with all that stuff. So when I see these new channels in my recommended, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. What video is this? I click on it, and it's some like 12-year-old that's not even allowed to be on YouTube, just like sitting there talking about whatever they want to talk about and just posting content that's just weird, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every like 12-year-old always has that. You're like, oh, YouTube is easy now. I say it because I done it when I was like 13 and 12.
Same,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, YouTube is easy, so I did my own stuff and everything. But going back to the main topic, YouTubers doing boxing. There's been a lot of speculation on this, and there's been like a lot of downsides and everything. I for one, I I don't fully support it, but I do like some YouTubers how they do boxing, how they started it. I mean, this whole YouTube boxing started off with Joe Weller. People think it was KSI versus Joe Weller, but fun fact, it was actually Joe Weller fighting one of his friends, and yeah, the YouTube just went from there. Um, I think the name was Theo Baker. Malfoy actually. So the boxing match was Joe Weller versus Malfoy. That was the first ever YouTube boxing match. Fun fact, and it just went from there. You know, I guess other YouTubers got inspired by that. And I mean, all the YouTube beef, some of it's real, some of it's fake. You know, some of it's just for the content. You know, so
Yeah.
so what happened was, turns out I heard while I was going through, investigating into this topic. KSI and Joel were really good friends. So KSI texted Joel Miller saying, "Hey, I really like the whole boxing idea and everything." So they wanted to do their own thing. And I mean, I just imagine. I mean, back then KSI and Joe Weller wasn't that big. They were like KSI was still doing his music, but it wasn't as big as right now. I feel like for one, the YouTube boxing has very helped a lot of YouTubers, especially for example Logan Paul. That man was in a horrible spot, horrible spot, and he said it himself. He said it. KSI saved him, saved his career, saved his whole reputation, saying, "Hey, let's box because I hate you." And at that time, Logan Paul was going through the whole, the suicide force and everything. So he was in a bad spot. Logan Paul went from the fame to the fortune, and after that, he just went downhill. And it's tough. It's very tough, and I'm proud of what he's gone through. He changed and everything, but the YouTube boxing, the second fight ever, the KSI versus Joe Weller. It was really like I don't want to say it's bad because it was the first time boxing for both of them. You know.
Yeah.
So I gotta admit I'll give credit where it's due. For the first fight ever, they did pretty well. They did very good, and they did give a good fight, and they entertained the whole, um, the whole sport. But the thing is that I say to every YouTube boxer, for example, like Jake Paul, he's the one that is holding the whole YouTube boxing right now. He fought Ben Askren. He's fighting Tyron Woodley, a UFC fighter. You know, I just now that I don't agree with, because a YouTuber that has fought a basketball player, two YouTubers that have never fought anybody big, and he's saying that he can beat Canelo, one of the best boxers in the whole entire world. Like you can't say that when you have never actually boxed in real life. You
Well,
know?
that's the game. You have to gas yourself up. You have to put yourself out there really to get noticed. You have to do something big. I'm gonna slightly touch on the topic we were talking about earlier about YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh, Everything is just so together. Like it's the same stuff over and over again when it comes to YouTube. So the only way to really get noticed and become popular is luck, or you do something explosive that no one else has ever done before, and that's new and unique. But at this point, it's really hard to do that. All the unique and all that stuff, it's pretty much going extinct. But as of everyone, somebody finds a way eventually. Uh, but I want to talk about Social Gloves real quick and their whole scandal with not paying their boxers.
Oh
And
yeah.
apparently, Austin McBroom, who
Is
was
getting
literally
sued by
the main
everybody.
fighter, owns Social Gloves, apparently.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I
Yeah, he
don't.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
But turns out
Uh,
he's getting sued by everybody. This famous basketball player, I didn't know, James Duran, he's suing him because turns out James invested in that, which is very, like it's huge because I mean a famous basketball player interested and getting invested in that. It's just something huge, you know.
yeah, yeah. And I just want to point out that this man has been literally like the front card. Like he was the main event. Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall
Or
was the
I'm
main
sorry to
event.
interrupt. It was actually James Harden. I'm so sorry, James Harden. That was a
James
basketball player.
Harden.
Yeah, James Harden was a basketball player that invested in this event.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, LeBron James. Hold on, wait a minute. What?
And,
I'm pretty sure this would be
yeah,
everywhere if that was him. Uh,
yeah, yeah. So,
back to what I was saying. Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall. Their match was like the main event of this entire event, which it was entertaining, I guess, for like everybody involved. Uh, and it would have gone flawlessly if, this whole scandal didn't happen. I think everybody would have been happy with it. It would all be good, all the beef and all that stuff. Well, Bryce Hall didn't really get anything good out of it, but kind of, yeah, just what happens with fame. You rise up and you fall, I guess. But
so, with that whole scandal, so it turns out, well, with what Logan Paul said to what Austin McBroom said. So it turns out Austin McBroom was just expecting to get all his money back because he thought, the viewers and everything, the millions of people, the follower base, they're gonna all buy it on the on the pay per view. You know,
yeah,
it turns out they did well in the tickets. I mean, the stadium was it did look packed. Not gonna lie, it did look decent amount of size. But so it turns out what Austin McBroom said that Social Live, the partners that they did with the whole event with the person. So it turns out Social Live was the streamer.
yeah, it was the streaming
It was a
service. Yeah,
streaming service. It turns out. So what Austin McBroom said is that uh, Social Live didn't pay them yet for the pay per view, and in a way, I feel like it's not true because I have never heard about this company ever until now. But if it's a new company, I feel like you shouldn't risk it, for doing something like that. And to keep in mind, Austin McBroom has scammed people before. There's been a person that let him loaned him, or he rented a Lamborghini from. I'm not 100% sure what car it was, and Austin McBroom never paid him back. He blocked him, and it was a new car rental place, and he never paid it back. So I feel like Austin McBroom is lying about this whole situation for the reason is that because Austin McBroom didn't know what he was getting into. Because, in a way, I feel like the pay per view buys weren't that great because I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't buy a pay per view and last an hour. I mean, to be honest, even the people that were in the crowd were just boring. I mean, DJ Khaled did a concert there. Well, he was doing halftime, and he was trying to have them sing, and everybody was just complete silence. So it was complete silence, and it's awkward. I mean, you could ask Ninja. I mean, no one did the floss at New York. I mean, just imagine, that's a huge
yeah.
thing. I mean,
That must that was so embarrassing for Ninja. Man.
oh yeah, it was embarrassing for Ninja. So it was the exact situation. Um, it was the exact situation for the DJ Khaled. He was singing, and no one else sang. It was completely awkward. And DJ Khaled was like, you could even see his face, be like, "What the fuck? Where's the environment?"
Yeah.
you know. And so this whole pay per view. I mean, the pay per view was fine. I'm not gonna lie, it was a really good event. I'm not even gonna lie, the fights were amazing. Some people, FaZe Jarvis, I will give credit where it's due. FaZe Jarvis completely surprised me, man. Keep in mind, viewers, I do boxing in real life. So, I have done amateur and professional fights. So I am really impressed of how FaZe Jarvis fought. I mean, how could you expect this guy? I mean, this guy does trick shots and, is in phase, and you never, I mean, he's jacked, obviously. You have seen pictures of him, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes to the gym and everything. So the guy's completely jacked, right? But I mean, where did his boxing skills go? And I mean, he just started. I mean, when the pay per view was announced and we were getting all his contracts ready, that's when he started training. So let's say he probably had like 3 months or 4 months to train. That's still a big thing, and winning it, winning it how he won, it was huge. You the Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall, it was a little bit of disappointment. I was expecting more of a fight from Bryce Hall,
But
but
you have to admit, that thing was fulfilling. Like,
oh yeah,
you
hundred
got
percent.
satisfaction when he knocked him out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everybody
I
was
felt
hating on Bryce Hall. At least that's what I've been seeing. I mean, of course, there are some fans of Bryce Hall who is rooting for Bryce Hall, but the amount of like trash talk that he was bringing to the table was just way too much. I mean, I know he's an influencer and he's supposed to hype things up like that, but he just made everybody hate him, and I think that's what his goal was to actually be the villain like of it all. I think he even addressed that publicly, but
Yeah, because
uh,
he was like be like all chill after the fight. He was like being super cool with Austin McBroom, and I hate when people do
yeah, yeah,
that. You know, like if Jake Paul and KSI, you know, they hate each other's guts. Like KSI even said himself, you know, he hates Jake more than Logan, and you know, Logan and KSI didn't have as much of like heated rivalry as KSI and Jake Paul have. So you know, I'm not completely mad about how they're like, you know, they're doing videos together now and they're all chill and everything. But I hate when YouTubers do that. They hate each other. They act like they all this, and they just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Because I mean, at the end of the day, Bryce Hall was like talking so much how he said, "Oh, I'm a fighter. I won street fights." I mean, let's be honest. Who counts street fights? Like you're telling me every single street fight you've been, you'd be like, "Oh, writing that down. One win,
I'm just
one
gonna
win."
and
Just gonna write that down and be like, "I won at this state." Like you're gonna say you're a fighter. I mean, this guy, like in the trailer of the event, was saying how he's a fighter and he's gonna knock Austin McBroom out. And then after he lost, he said, "I was never a fighter. I never said I was a fighter." I'm like, how are you gonna say that, man?
yeah,
And
people were clowning on him after that
yeah,
one, but
everyone was clowning on him because he clowned on
Bryce
Canelo.
Hall, he did something that I never thought was even possible and knocked himself over with his own push. Who has like he must have been pushing like a boulder. Or that or he's just so weak that when he pushed on Austin McBroom and it was like one of the panels for the fight and everything. He Bryce Hall pushed either it was either Austin McBroom or it was somebody. I'm pretty sure it was Austin McBroom. But he falls over from his own push.
Oh yeah, Bryce Hall, you pushed it. Oh, all right, we got to pull up the clip right here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a clown Bryce Hall right here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, but
Like honestly, oof.
and the Bryce Hall and Austin McBroom conference, Bryce Hall pushed Austin McBroom and fell over, and legit was got on the dick on Austin McBroom, and that's exactly how it went because when Austin fell, I mean when Austin fell and Bryce fell on his, and he was like, there's a picture of him that he's right next to the dick of Austin McBroom.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's super funny. Okay, I have it right here. Here's the clip for ladies and gentlemen. You can see it right there. Let me stream this to Cam Ding so you can see it too. Don't want to leave him hanging.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So as you can see right here, let's back it up a little bit. So the whole so turn like Bryce Hall is talking shit and saying to Austin McBroom, stand up against me. You know. Let me back up. Why do you think? Because see, and you can see how he falls. Look at that. He's on the floor while Austin McBroom is over here, and look where Bryce is.
I just want to clarify. Austin McBroom did not push Bryce Hall.
Yeah,
He fell himself.
he fell. You can see it. You can see it right there. You know, right there. How he fell right there on his own, and Austin Vigor is right here. And look at Taylor Holder. He didn't do anything. He's just standing there like, damn, should I get in? Should I get in this one? He's like, right. He's like, shit. Should I get in there? To be
Oh
honest,
my god, this was great.
to be
This is
honest,
great.
at that moment, I thought there was gonna be a mosh pit between the TikTokers and the YouTubers. I was expecting that would have been amazing. Okay, just imagine, just a mosh pit right there. I mean, obviously it would have been complete chaos, but hell, we love chaos. I mean, we
Yeah, that's what
people.
the internet thrives on.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can't say that no
Twitter,
one
for
was
example.
expecting a mosh pit. The TikTokers and the YouTubers be like, all right, fuck it, Bryce Hall and Austin McBroom fight him. Let's fight, I mean, and the funny thing is, at the press conference live stream, since Nissan Gibb and Deji were still in the UK, they still weren't over here in the USA. They were on computers, and they're just sitting there in their chairs, looking at the camera, and be like, "Damn, this is awkward. I can't do anything." It was a whole mess. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no hate to Bryce Hall. At the end of the day, he got humbled. Because he has changed. Uh, he hasn't talked that much. He's not assuming he's a fighter anymore. uh, like he said he was. Like, he's a fighter, and he's got two guns, and he's gonna knock out Austin McBrim with those two guns. Those were water guns because that didn't do shit.
Man, go ahead and take it away. I forgot what I was gonna say. Dang.
Okay, so back to the main topic, Jake Paul. The Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fight happening. It's happening this month. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me
I
interject here. Um, what are your opinions on the whole? It was either Logan or Jake Paul for the viewers. I do not know how to like differentiate Logan and Jake Paul. To me, they're the same person almost. Uh, so I'm just gonna go ahead and guess it's
same
Logan because
blonde guy,
Logan's been
same
very,
same blonde
yeah,
guy.
pretty much. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Logan because Logan's like more active in the boxing scene. Uh, him and Floyd Mayweather.
Oh my
What are
god.
your
Oh
opinions
my
on
god.
that?
That was a whole fucking mess. That was when I found out that Mayweather and Logan Paul was fighting, I was like, okay, I'm gonna challenge Canelo because a guy that has lost a fight, Logan Paul hasn't won a single fucking fight, ladies and gentlemen. Has never
Yeah.
won a fight, and Mayweather was like, all right, let's box. I mean,
Well, the only reason
and
why he
Mayweather.
boxed him was because he was offered a lot of money, and there was no judges there, so they couldn't decide an actual winner, and that's the only reason why Floyd Mayweather even like went to the boxing ring.
It was I didn't like it. It was a paid thing, and at the end of the day, it wasn't as good as people. To be honest,
To me,
I
it
hope
kind of
I
seems
hope
like it was a
I
cut.
hope
I'm not gonna lie.
I hope Mayweather. I hope this was paid, because Mayweather, I have never seen him box so badly like he did right there. Mayweather has knocked out people so easily, and you're telling me he couldn't knock out Logan Paul? I mean, he knocked him out. There's a clip where you could see Mayweather holding Logan Paul, and keeping him up, and whispering to him, "Hey, you gotta keep the show going. Get your ass up. I gotta get my paycheck." Because at the end of the day, it was such a disappointment because there was no winner. You know,
Yeah.
so you could know it's paid off when it's fucking no winner and shit. And then Jake Paul and saying, "Oh, my brother won." Logan Paul didn't even say he won. Jake Paul was like, "Oh, my brother beat you." No, he did it. Just
Well,
because okay,
Logan,
I'll
he's
just
been
yeah.
very mature after the whole suicidal force incident.
Oh yeah.
He's been a lot like I think him realizing his wrongs and all that stuff, he was like in his head for a long time while he wasn't like on the internet and all that stuff. And when he took that time off, I think he like grew a new self or something because
Oh
he was
yeah, for
completely
sure.
different when he came
Yeah,
back.
because I mean, when you're in a dark place and you have nothing and you have everything to lose. I mean, Logan Paul, like I said, KSI Logan Paul said it himself. KSI brought me back to YouTube, and I don't know what Logan Paul where would he be if it wasn't because of that KSI fight. Because I feel like if KSI didn't fight Logan Paul wouldn't be where he is right now, 100%. Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no doubt, because KSI helped, pretty much, you know distracted the viewers about the suicidal forest, because everyone was pumped. Hell, I was pumped about the fight. It was a huge fight.
Yeah.
And the rivalry was so intense. But back to the topic. It was a mess. It was a complete fuck up. I hope that never happens again. You know, because if I know it's paid 100%. And when, like, I'm telling you viewers right now, when there's no judges in a fight, it's because it's paid, and it's paid.
That or they're just scared and they don't
Oh
want
no, and
to.
it's more paid when it's a no winner. So but if that's how Mayweather really boxes, and if that's his skill right now, I am very disappointed. I feel like anybody could fucking beat Mayweather. Anybody that's experienced, keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying not a random hobo guy. I'm saying
Well,
anybody experienced. Like if Canelo and Mayweather 2 happened again, Canelo would 100% win. So because if that's how Mayweather boxed right now, it was a complete disappointment. But
yeah, I might be talking mad shit when I say this, but Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't win his fights by knocking out the opponent necessarily. He wins it by exhausting them and then knocking them out.
yeah,
Because he's little. He doesn't have that, that muscle and all that as the other competitor has.
and
So,
he's not used to going many rounds. Like the great Mike Tyson said, he said that he's scared. Mike Tyson said he's scared to go longer rounds because he's never gone longer rounds. He's always knocked his opponents before. You know,
yeah.
and it happens to me too. Sometimes I get worried when I have to do long rounds because half of my fights always end up in knockouts. You know, so when you're a boxer and you have to go like 12 rounds or 8 rounds and half of your fights are knockouts, obviously you're so good. But if you put a fighter in front of you that's he's got the same boxing record as you, he's really good. You got to be ready. So you always got to train for the worst. Because if that guy is willing to die in that ring, then you got to be willing to die in that ring too and go those 12 rounds, and win that. So
Yeah.
Mayweather was a complete disappointment in that fight. Logan Paul, I'll give him credit where credit's due. He did get some few punches. I'll give him that, but he did not win the fight like Jake Paul was saying. And obviously Jake Paul is a stupid in one boxing. But I say with this Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fight, I hope Tyron Woodley wins because if Jake Paul wins, it's gonna be a great disappointment to the UFC, to the whole boxing thing, because Tyron Woodley was a champion, one of the best champions in the UFC. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and he's a great boxer. Tyron Woodley's the most recognized as a boxer and his jiu-jitsu, and his boxing is amazing. I mean, just look at the guy. I mean, look at the size difference between Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. The guy's jacked. I mean, he's like
Yeah.
he's like Superman pretty much, and if Jake Paul like knocks him out or like beats him in any way, I feel like this has been a complete mess and just a complete setup. Because you can't tell me that Jake Paul, a YouTuber that has only fought basketball players, two YouTubers, and one dad bod guy. I mean, like Ben Askren, okay? Ben Askren isn't the best MMA fighter ever. You know, he's in the record of the fastest knockouts ever. You know, and
Yeah, yeah.
so when Jake Paul announced that he was fighting Ben Askren, I'm like, out of everybody, why would you choose Ben Askren? Why? Because Jake Paul wants the easy fights, obviously. You know, and he's trying to prove us wrong that he's trying, because I mean, let's be honest here. It's not his real boxing fight because keep again, Tyron Woodley isn't a boxer. He's an MMA fighter. MMA fighting and boxing is two completely different things. I mean, look at the McGregor and Mayweather fight. McGregor was still having his technique of MMA. He was still hitting Mayweather in the back of the head and hitting grabbing him and everything, because MMA fighters are used to MMA. So it's hard. It's hard to do boxing when you're used to MMA. So, but I'm saying this right now. Jake Paul needs to fight a boxer because till this day he hasn't fought a single real boxer. You know,
Yeah.
and it's so messed up because people, real boxers challenge him. Be like, all right, you talk all the shit and everything. Let's fight. Let's go, me and you right now. And then
It's all because of publicity,
yeah,
honestly.
and then Jake Paul is like, his excuse is like, oh, you don't have enough fame for that or stuff like that. Like, really? Like, it's an excuse. The person that I feel like that can prove Jake Paul wrong and get him out of his boxing god cloud is Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is a great boxer. He's not the best boxer, but he's a really great boxer. And he is a real boxer that has fought boxers, not the best ones, but he's fought some wars. So, and Tommy Fury is on the undercard because turns out Tommy Fury, like I said, he was calling Jake Paul out, this entire time. You know, and Jake Paul was ducking him, saying that he's not popular enough, and he's fighting people that's unrecognizable, and it's a complete lie, because Jake Paul wants to keep that his problem child arc, you could say, continue. That's why he doesn't fight real boxers,
Yeah.
and
I'm
so.
gonna go ahead and stop you here because I want to bring up a topic real quick. Chess boxing. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Chess boxing is, well, exactly as it sounds. It's chess and boxing put into the thing. It's a, hybrid sport, which is completely nutty when you like actually hear it because you never think those two sports would come together. I don't even think chess is a sport. Well, I guess
No,
it is.
people do
Yeah,
consider chess as a sport. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the original concept for chess boxing was to combine chess, which was more mental and like that, and boxing, which was physically like demanding, and they put those together as an equal balance between the two. So yeah, you have anything to say about this?
It's
I sound like a reporter.
I don't I know we're getting very into this. um, I don't see that. I don't get it. I generally don't get it. Chess
Well,
boxing, that's something very.
yeah, it's a little weird, but hey, I mean, it sounds fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie, except for the chess part. But chess
Uh,
isn't really too fun to just watch. It's fun to
so
play. I'm a big chess player, but I really hate
so
watching it.
so so chess boxing is pretty much, they go into all out war in first round, just take a break second round, and then just sit down, look at each other, and be like, just checkmate,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
checkmate. Oh, I messed up right there. Third round, let's go, motherfucker! Bow, bow. Just
Yeah, it's
like,
like a rise and fall in
yeah.
action each round.
Because chess isn't intense, and you can't combine boxing with chess, because boxing and chess has two different intensities. Like, come on, people, you can't,
An
you
emotion
can't.
roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I could watch it, just for the meme, but
So yeah,
I just hope they just stop making boxing a joke. uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
boxing is a very amazing sport. I mean, I love boxing. I do boxing as much as I can. I train every day. Undefeated, by the way. For your viewers, I am undefeated in professional and amateur. Um, so
Go out and toot your own horn, then, huh?
just gonna my publicity right there. But before we move on to our next topic, I want to say, you know, boxing is a very amazing sport, and I know a lot of people, because boxing helped me. Yeah, I had a dark time, and boxing helped me a lot because I got bullied a lot, and I know a lot of people are get bullied. And if you want to do change, and if you're motivated to do something, you know, and you see fighters and be like, damn, I want to do that, but I'm too skinny. Never say that. If you say I'm too skinny to do that, then do something about it. I was very skinny
Yeah.
back then. You know, and I never thought in 1,000 years I could ever do boxing because I was too skinny. You know, and I thought I would lose. And now I'm in my best shape in my entire life, and I'm undefeated. So I want to give that inspiration to all the viewers. If you want to do something, because I know people like want to go into football, right? And they say, "Oh, you're too skinny." It's fine. You'd be like, "Then I'll eat more. I'll do exercise more. I'll put some few pounds and I'll do football." Never let anybody, do that. It's
Yeah, podcast chat. This has been in my head, and I cannot get it out of my head for the past week. All right,
mm-hmm.
it's so funny to me.
I'm looking at the podcast chat right now. Let's take a look at right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see.
I have a lot
Podcast
of
chat.
baby memes.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, that baby's going deep. Oh my god. That baby really wanted to go deep in there, ladies and gentlemen. ¡Ay, voy! ¡Espérame!
All right.
Um,
Moving on.
moving
Uh,
on. All right, all right. So let's move on to the our next topic. We got the I want to talk about a little back to the KSI and Logan Paul. Logan Paul and KSI, finally teamed up. I mean, there was a lot of rumors to this, and they finally did it. KSI went on the Impulsive show. Logan Paul did a Sidemen video with them. And to be honest, a lot of people love it. I expected people to hate on him and be like, "Oh, you guys."
Honestly, like I'm kind of disappointed in the Sidemen video. Like they have Logan Paul, like a big rival to JJ, the biggest person in the group, and they made him do a fishing video. Of all the videos that they could have done, of course they had to go and do fishing, which I mean, yeah, it was entertaining, honestly. I watched.
It was a fun video, especially how Logan and KSI were still hinting about the boxing. And at the end of the video, KSI was like, how does it feel to lose again to me, Logan?" It was
Yeah, yeah.
it was very funny. It was a nice experience though. And with the KSI, going on the Impulsive show, it was very nice to see them because it was very heartwarming because Logan Paul was giving a lot of credit to KSI on his new album, and he even said he was like, "Hey, Olivia Rodrigo, let my friend here JJ get the #1 spot on the on you know on the iTunes store and everything," and that was very heartwarming because at the end of because I mean after their second fight they were both like, "Yeah, let's squash the beef, we did it, we did all of this, and get
Kind of
together."
felt like through the entire thing that they were just sucking each other's dicks. Like
On what? On
that
the boxing?
everything. Just they kept complimenting each other the entire time. Like no matter what they did, they were like, "Oh yeah, that was really great," even though it really wasn't.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't like they're like, "Oh, I just took the biggest shit. Oh, what an amazing man. That was probably the
Wow,
best
what
shit."
you this is so
Oh,
awesome. This is why I lost to you.
this is why I lost to you because only real mans take shit like that. Let me take a picture of that.
Did you flush it already? No, I didn't. Hey,
Let me
let
take
me
a
go
let me
take a
take a let me,
picture of
let me
this.
take a picture. I'm gonna put this on my fridge. Here comes the JJ's the biggest shit.
So that's like at a Hall of Fame room just
So
somewhere.
just there's JJ's biggest shit right there in a picture frame on Logan Paul's fridge.
Almost the size of a full log.
The size of full. Just Logan Paul turned into Owen Wilson. Wow, wow, look at that
Never knew a
shit.
hole could stretch that far.
Oh my god. I mean, hey man, only KSI let it
All the
do.
KSI.
Only KSI. But yeah, I did like that. It was nice for them to squash the beef and talk about their own things because at the end of the day, Logan Paul has always been a good guy. Always, man. I'm gonna be honest here. I watched Logan Paul's vlog when I was in middle school, and he was a very entertaining guy. He was always a nice guy. He always did some nice things for him. And the only bad thing I have ever seen Logan Paul ever do was the Suicide Forest. Because I mean, people say, "Oh, what about the diss tracks and everything?" I mean, the whole YouTube community was doing diss tracks. Sidemen were doing diss tracks.
Yeah, that was like
So,
when diss tracks and everything was like popping off. Like that
oh,
was the
and
mainstream
and
at
the,
that time.
yeah, and the diss tracks were amazing. I gotta admit, some of them were fucking
Oh yeah.
fire. Jay,
Except for Logan Paul's. I mean, his. I'm not gonna lie. His compared to everyone
the
else's
the
diss tracks were
second,
just.
the first
Uh,
verse. Okay, the first part of the diss
I'll
track.
give it to him. Yeah,
The
London
first
was a good one actually.
Yeah, the first part was amazing, but the second verse it was so anticlimactic. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait till Logan Paul posts the second verse, the second verse, the second verse." It was so anticlimactic. It sucked so much. The first verse was amazing. The first verse of the diss track was great. But how are you gonna how are you gonna post the second verse and it is a complete anticlimactic? You could see the comments about how everybody was hating on it. I hated it because I was expecting so much. I was like, oh, he's gonna talk so much shit and everything, and Alyssa Violet's in there, and then just boom, disappointment.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of KSI, actually, well, I know we were just on the topic of Logan, but we were just on the topic of KSI. Uh, his album. What's your favorite song in that album?
My favorite
Have you
song.
heard of it actually?
I have heard some songs in the album. I haven't heard Everything. It's all over the place, right? Yeah, it's all over the place. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Um, Holiday has to be my favorite all time.
Holiday.
Holiday was Holiday. Holiday was an amazing vibe song. Patient has to be my second favorite, and Don't Play has to be my third song in that album. But I gotta give credit to KSI though. He made a song with Future, man. I mean, holy shit! Like
Yeah.
KSI, has done amazing things, man. He got a little. That was a little pump. Who was it? I forgot. I don't keep up with the new with the new rappers, but he did it with 21 Savage and a Future music video. Like, just imagine, that's huge. I mean, just it's a huge thing for KSI because to see how where he's gone from to doing FIFA videos and opening packs and everything, and look at his music, man. His music is amazing. Not all of his songs are amazing, but I mean, half of his songs are bangers, 100%.
Yeah, when it comes to music with me, it's all about the flow. Like the lyrics, I don't really care too much of, but if the flow is not there or it's not really that like, you know, gut punching,
Yeah,
I really like dubstep, like the hard bass drops and all that stuff. I'm a sucker for that. But I'd have to
come on, the
say,
press.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I get really hyped on that stuff. KSI's new album, the best song from there has to be "The Moment" for me. It's the first song that comes on, and
Yeah, that was cool.
like KSI is of all of his music that he's done has to be down like that by far.
That's your favorite.
Yeah, honestly, it's the
That's a
first
good one.
song that I've heard of him, and it roped me in. I'd say.
Patience was really a good one for me. I really liked Patience. Patience was amazing, and but Holiday just gave me a vibe that just was just completely really good, man. Holiday was
I
very
think it was like I'm Dante or whatever. That was like I want to dance like a white teenage girl, to then starts dancing like a white teenage girl. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you dance because I mean, it's the first time KSI is singing, you know,
Well, I mean, it's like one of his first genres of that, or like songs of that genre. It completely like
and
flipped everything
he
on
did it
its
by
head because
himself.
we had
Yeah,
no idea that he was gonna do this. What like to the
yeah, it
music that
came out
he
of
makes
nowhere.
now, this was so different from what he makes. So honestly, it's a good song though. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
It's a good song.
and it just came out of nowhere though, like too. It's
It did, yeah.
like he probably like announced it like 1 week before, and holy, to be honest, okay, I'm
Well,
gonna be honest here. I wasn't expecting it to be a great song because KSI. I mean, a lot of people shit on KSI because he has so many other rappers be on there and other singers and shit. So when KSI posted that there was no one else, no feature in anything, and it was gonna be his first time singing, I wasn't expecting something bad, but I wasn't expecting something great like College. Like Holiday came out. It is an amazing song, and I will give KSI so much credit to that because for his first song as that genre and singing, it was amazing. It is no
true.
doubt
Yeah.
so amazing, man.
And just as I think it was Simon from the Sidemen, he said that that song sounds like it's at the end of every like romance movie or something. It's
Yeah,
like yeah, yeah, that's exactly what that yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it gives you that vibe. I mean, to be honest, okay. So I was I was going through Instagram and I was reading some posts about KSI. Turns out he made this song for his girlfriend,
yeah.
and
Well, yeah, I guess it was kind of like for his girlfriend, but at the end, like his girlfriend does come in, or as we presume is his girlfriend, she
oh
does
no,
come in and sit
it's
down.
not
He
it's
teases us by not showing
by
her
not
face though.
showing her face. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
the internet was having a field day with that
I
one.
respect KSI so much for that though, because
Honestly, true.
he has
Yeah,
always had his girlfriend, and you know that his girlfriend loves him for that because if it was another girl, it'd be like, oh, I want to get this, I want to get the popularity, I want to get the fame, because every YouTuber that has gotten a girlfriend, it's like either they've done a family channel or the girlfriend starts doing YouTube with them. So I am very like happy, and KSI when he talked about his girlfriend on the Impulsive show, and he seems so happy. And I want to have a relationship like KSI and his girlfriend, man, because he legit said this girl is the one. I want to get married to this girl, and you can go to the Impulsive, and you can go back to that clip, and it's such a heartwarming moment, man. Because if a girl can make you feel like that, and hides herself from everybody, so she doesn't get the popularity. Because I feel like she does that too, just so KSI doesn't think, oh, I only want you for your fame and your money and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I am very happy about that, and I will give credit to KSI for having such an amazing girlfriend. Well, shit, man, I wish I had a relationship like that. I gotta go to the UK and ask KSI where you get one of those.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so our time has run out. The episode has gone
Oh yeah.
for quite a decent few times.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
But it was such an amazing episode, guys. I hope you guys really do enjoy this topic, and give us some ideas in the comments too if you guys ever want to post some. Let us talk about it. We do expect to upload tomorrow as well. Um, like I said, we do expect our main goal is to do this daily because, like I said, we do like to talk a lot and we always have our opinions and we always want to get our opinions out there. So it is a really great spot and this new mini project for us. I mean, we're just a couple best friends just trying to make a little project because I mean to be honest, we don't want much of the fame. We just want to get our ideas heard because I feel like not a lot of podcasts out there have young people. Like they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have teenagers, so they can't some people because I mean let's be honest here the majority of YouTube are teenagers 18 to 20 or like 16.
I feel like that's more like a TikTok. YouTube's more, at least what I've been seeing, is more adult focused. But that's like I said, that's just from my recommendeds, and that's what I get. So I can't really say. I don't even know why I said anything. I don't really
Mhm.
have an opinion on that.
So yeah, but that's what we're trying to do because I feel like our podcast is a little bit unique because of how young we are and how much ideas we have. So we do expect this to do daily, and we really do appreciate all your guys' support, and we expect to do this for a very long time to entertain you guys. So
Yeah.
as he said, thank you guys for watching. This is the first episode of the hiding spot. I hope you guys really enjoyed,
Before
and
we
yeah.
stop, though, before we stop, if you are interested in coming onto the podcast and talk a bit, uh, completely free to.
Oh yeah.
I don't have everything set up now, but later on we will have a Gmail where you can contact us from.
Oh yeah,
And
and we'll have our discords in the in the description, so you can send us a friend request and message us, be like, hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to help on the podcast, give my opinion, because we want this also to be a platform for you guys. If you guys ever feel like you guys want to express your opinion on some topics and want to talk with us and express your feelings, then come on. You just we'll like I said, we'll have our discords in the description, so message us whenever you guys would like and you guys want to hop on here.
And do keep in mind, this is our first episode that we're doing. This could even not be shown. This is practice. But uh we don't have everything set up. It's not going to be like this. It will change over time as we get more professional and we know what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
But this was just a spur of the moment. We literally thought the idea of this yesterday. So
So yeah,
keep that in mind.
so later in the future we'll have better mics. We will have some face cams. I do expect I would like to do face cams. Get the our rooms and shown and everything.
I'm on board. Yeah.
So yeah, so I really do appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Hiding Spot, and we'll see you guys the next time.
Bye bye.